Okay, so it seems like we have a quorum. So hi everyone, I am Billy from TaroWorks and welcome to our deep dive session on best practices when upgrading TaroWorks. This is our 7th session of the series, and the purpose of these webinars is to give you a deeper look into either a TaroWorks feature or a specific use case. Before we get started, I just want to go over a few housekeeping rules. So everyone is going to be on mute by default. However, please feel free to send questions in either the chat, or you can also raise your hand and I will unmute you so you can ask your question. These sessions are specifically for our customers and our partners, so we want everyone to feel free to ask your questions, and please take advantage of this FaceTime with our services team. We have about a 15-minute presentation, and this is going to be followed by a Q&A session. If there are quick questions as we're going through, we will address them during the presentation. Otherwise, we will address the questions towards the end. The webinar is being recorded and will be posted to our YouTube channel at a future date. So now, before I hand over to Tabitha, I'm going to launch a quick poll. This poll is a simple yes or no question asking whether you are comfortable with upgrading TaroWorks by yourself. So I'm going to do that now. Once you have answered this, we can get started. Okay, so it seems like we've got a bit of a split, 50%, 50-50. It's great to know, and I mean that's the reason why we are running this deep dive session today, just to give you some more guidance when you are performing your TaroWorks upgrades. And so, without further ado, I would like to introduce Tabitha Kamal, who is our TaroWorks consultant, and she's going to be going through the feature deep dive today on best practices when upgrading your TaroWorks version. So Tabitha, it looks like your screen is shared. I am going to hand it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Billy. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. So TaroWorks has 3 to 4 major releases a year, and it's important that you keep your TaroWorks app up to date, so as we only support the latest 2 versions of the software. And with each release, we have new features and functionality, ensuring that you get most value out of your software. So in this deep dive, I'll be going through 4 major best practices when upgrading your TaroWorks version. I will also be using the upgrade to our latest version, that is TaroWorks 6.2, as an example to illustrate these practices. I will then take you through our general support process, as well as the support that we offer regarding TaroWorks upgrades. And then finally, I will open up the floor for any questions and comments that you may have. So let's dive in. So the first best practice is to read the release documentation. So with each release, we create the release documentation to help and guide you. And this includes the release notes and also the release webinar. So it's very important that you read the release notes, and these notes are available on our support site, that is on taroworks.zendesk.com. So these are TaroWorks release. So on this page, so we have the release notes for our current versions here available. So it's very important that you read these notes, because here we indicate what's new in the new version. We also show the mobile compatibility. We also indicate the issues that we have resolved in the new version for both Salesforce and mobile side. And we also indicate the known issues for both Salesforce and mobile side. And we also include the upgrade instructions to the version that you are upgrading to. So with each release, like I mentioned, we also have we host a live webinar in which we demonstrate what's new in the version. The recording is available on our YouTube page in case you're not available for the live session. The next best practice is knowing when to schedule for the upgrade. So with these upgrades, we introduce new features, new functionality that may cause synchronization issues, especially for your mobile users, if they continue, submitting jobs and synchronizing while the upgrade is ongoing. So it's very important that you schedule the upgrade at a time where there is either low or no activity for both your mobile users and your backend users. Okay, and in addition to this, we recommend, where possible, that your mobile users synchronize all their complete jobs in their devices so as to minimize, possibility of failures or sync issues before the upgrade. Our next best practice is a couple of questions you need to ask yourself before upgrading any TaroWorks version. And here the first question is, am I upgrading through more than one version? Because with each version, we have settings and features that are installed in your app when you perform the upgrade. So it's important that you upgrade through all the versions of the application to the latest version. So for example, let's say you're currently on version 5.1 and you want to upgrade to the latest version, which is 6.2. So you need to upgrade through 6.0, 6.1 before you upgrade to 6.2. So a very important point to note here is that these upgrades for each version, they take time, and you'll be able to plan more effectively if you know how many versions you need to upgrade beforehand. So the second question is, you need to have a list of the profiles that your mobile users and your TaroWorks backend users are currently on. So when you install TaroWorks, there are two default profiles, as we'll see. So you have the TaroWorks user profile, then you have the TaroWorks partner user profile. So apart from those two, you need to have a list of all the other profiles that you use for both your mobile users and your backend users. So when upgrading TaroWorks, you will need to upgrade the two default profiles and any other custom profiles that you might have created. So as we proceed, I will show you how you map and upgrade those profiles. So the last question to ask is, will it be possible for all your mobile users to sync before we start? So like we mentioned in the previous slide, we recommend that the upgrade takes place at a time when you have low user activity, and also ensure that your mobile users have synchronized any completed jobs in their devices before you start the upgrade. On to our next best practice is completing the upgrade. So each upgrade has a set of steps to ensure its success. And these steps, we have them, or rather we provide the steps on how to do each of the upgrades on our support site. And it's very important that you follow these steps for the version that you are upgrading to. Okay. So these steps can be broken down into three. The first step is the pre-upgrade steps. So let me just show you the steps on our side, on our support side. So, like I mentioned, on our release page, we have the instructions here. So, like we said, we're using 6.2 as an example to illustrate the best practices. Okay. So for this, these are the set of ordered steps to upgrade to 6.2. So we say we have the pre-upgrade steps. So these are the steps that you need to carry out before upgrading TaroWorks in Salesforce. And this is dependent on the version that you're upgrading. So ideally, these are steps that they're needed to prepare your Salesforce org before you upgrade to TaroWorks. before you upgrade TaroWorks in your org. So as you can see, for 6.2, we do not have any pre-upgrade steps. But if I can show you and we can compare the steps for 6.1 and 6.2. So for 6.1, we had the pre-upgrade steps, which included converting attachments to Salesforce. Before now, we update TaroWorks in Salesforce. So it's very important to ensure that you follow the steps for the upgrade version, for the version that you are upgrading. So the next step is upgrading TaroWorks in Salesforce. So this consists of clicking the production link that again we have on our release page on our support site. So if we navigate back to our release page here, and like I mentioned, this is available for all our clients on our help desk site. So it's available for everyone. So on our release page here, we have the installation link. So we are updating to 6.2. So if we click on the production link here, so I'll be prompted to log in to my Salesforce org that I want to upgrade to 6.2. So this is important to ensure that you are upgrading, you're actually upgrading TaroWorks in the right Salesforce org. So once I log in, once I'm able to log in, so I'm able to see the current version is 6.1. So now I can proceed and upgrade to 6.2. And this, I need to be keen that I'm installing TaroWorks for specific profiles. So as mentioned in our earlier slide on the what profiles you have for your mobile users and backend users. So once I click on the specific profiles to upgrade, before I click on upgrade, I need to scroll down and map my profiles. So by default, we said when you install TaroWorks, you have two profiles installed by default. That's the TaroWorks user profile and the TaroWorks partner user. So I will map this TaroWorks user to TaroWorks user, then the TaroWorks partner user profile, the TaroWorks partner user settings. So for my Salesforce org, I had two additional profiles that are used by my backend users and mobile users in this region. So for the Kenya TaroWorks users, this is a profile used by some of my backend users. So I'll need to map this to TaroWorks user settings. Then I'll need to map the Kenya TaroWorks partner user. So this is for my mobile users. I'll need to map that to the TaroWorks partner user settings. Then once I have that, then I can click on upgrade. So this usually takes 5 to 10 minutes for this to be complete, and then you then receive an email confirming that a TaroWorks package has been installed successfully. So that's upgrading TaroWorks in Salesforce. So the third step here is what we call the post-upgrade steps. So these are the steps after you update TaroWorks in your Salesforce org. So back to our example for 6.2. So I go back to my steps here. So for 6.2, we didn't have the pre-upgrade, so we have now upgraded TaroWorks in Salesforce. So the other steps, the post-upgrade steps will be updating the TaroWorks mobile user object, updating the contact layout, updating the tabs, and then also disabling caching. Then the last step is download the upgrade file to mobile device. So this is now downloading to upgrade TaroWorks in your mobile device, and that takes us to our next best practice, which is testing successful upgrade. So once you have completed the upgrade of TaroWorks in Salesforce, we highly recommend that you test before you allow your mobile users to continue working. So the version of the Android APK installed in your device needs to match the version that is installed in your Salesforce org. So in our example here, we have updated TaroWorks in Salesforce to 6.2. So we'll need to update now our mobile device to also 6.2. And there are two ways to do this. So first is syncing your device. So if you previously had installed TaroWorks on your mobile device, on your next sync, you'll be prompted to download the latest version. And once you accept that, then the latest APK is downloaded and updated automatically. So the other way is to download the APK from our release page. So if I go back to our release notes, so it's the same table. So the same page has all these details where we found the notes, the TaroWorks installation link for the Salesforce org, and then now we have the installation link for our mobile devices. Okay. Right. So once now you have the two versions, the version on your mobile device and the version on your Salesforce org, they are matching. So now the next step now is to test the upgrade using one of your existing jobs for a successful sync. Awesome. So that's the end of the 4 major best practices. So I'll proceed on to a support policy. So our help desk, that is taroworks.zendesk.com, where it contains all our documentation and troubleshooting articles. And like we mentioned, they're available for our clients to use. In addition to that, we offer 1 hour free support every month for our clients. And this, of course, this will include helping you troubleshoot issues that you might encounter during or after an upgrade. And to do that, you submit a support ticket through our support site, again, which is taroworks.zendesk.com. So on your top right corner, you should see a link that has submit a request. And once you click on that, you fill out the details on the request form. And on submitting that, we receive the ticket on our support desk. Then we're able to assist you with the issue that you might have encountered. Then for support in upgrading TaroWorks, we usually recommend the following. So 1, if you are currently on a version lower than 6.1, we recommend you reach out to support through the same process of submitting a ticket that we have described in the previous slide, because we will handle this type of upgrade for you, because upgrading to 6.1 is very, very extensive. So hence we offer to handle it for our clients for free. Secondly, if you'll be performing your first TaroWorks upgrade, so again, please reach out to support. Then we set up a call and we'll walk you through it. Okay. And finally, if you have any issues or you encounter any issues when doing the performing the upgrade, so like I mentioned, we have 1 free support hour every month, and we will help you troubleshoot the issues that you might encounter during or after the upgrade. Awesome. I will now pause and open the session for questions or comments regarding upgrading TaroWorks.
Awesome, thank you very much, Tabs. So there's a question that came through from Johnny Pierre. He wants to know if we plan to upgrade for each organization, or if it's the organization's administrators' responsibility to do the upgrades to the new versions. So I think this question came in a little bit earlier. So I'll just take it. So I think as Tabs has just shown in the last couple of slides, if it is your first upgrade, we can set up a call and walk you through it. But generally, it is the administrator's responsibility to keep you upgraded or updated on our latest versions. Okay, so there's another question coming through. So Tabitha, what happens if I, by mistake, do not upgrade a specific profile that is used by our mobile users?
Great question. So you will need to manually update the settings for the specific profile. And this is very tedious, and that's why we, like I mentioned in the questions to ask yourself, is which profiles you're using for both your mobile users and your backend users. So you have to do that manually, and it's a very tedious process. We have a support article on our support site that shows you which settings you need to update.
Okay, great, thank you. James, I saw that you raised your hand. Would you like to ask your question?
I'm in Haiti right now. It's a pleasure to be with you for this wonderful webinar, and I learned a lot of new things on TaroWorks. And I'm James DeClerus. I'm working as TaroWorks consultant for Hope for Haiti in Haiti. All right, my question is, I would like to know what is the difference between when you upgrade TaroWorks on the app exchange and when you upgrade it for the mobile users. Especially, I would like to know if I need to make both updates.
Great, James. Yeah, great to meet you first of all, and thanks for your question. So, basically, the process of upgrading your TaroWorks version is that you upgrade the version in Salesforce first, and then because the application, the TaroWorks application on your Android device needs to match whatever version is installed in your Salesforce instance. If your mobile users are on a previous version, the next time that they synchronize, they will be prompted to automatically upgrade their APK, their Android application. So basically, all you actually have to do is upgrade on Salesforce, and then the mobile users just have to have the correct version of the app to work. There's no process in upgrading the mobile side.
Okay. Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you. Thanks for the question. Okay. I see also Johnny Pierre, you also just raised your hand. I'm going to unmute you and you can introduce yourself and then ask your question.
Good morning, everyone. So thank you. Lady, thank you, Tabitha, for the webinar. And my question is if it's an obligation to upgrade to the new version on Salesforce, I want to know if I can uninstall the last version and install the new version directly on the tablet of the nurses because I'm working for Focus.
I'm sorry, Johnny, I didn't quite clearly get the question.
Yes, you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, so I want to know if I can uninstall the last version on the Android device and install the new version. So it's an obligation to upgrade to the new version on.
If I'm getting you right, to upgrade the new version on the mobile device.
Yes. I think the question is, do you need to uninstall the old version and reinstall the new version when you upgrade?
Oh, good, great question. So like I mentioned, once you upgrade,
yes.
Okay, awesome. So once you upgrade TaroWorks in your Salesforce org, so the mobile users on their next sync, once they sync, they'll be prompted to download the new version. So on their next thing, as long as the TaroWorks version is updated in Salesforce, so the mobile user on their device, once they sync, they'll get a prompt to like notifying them there's a new version on TaroWorks. Do you want to install? So once they accept that, it downloads and installs automatically. Does that answer the question?
Johnny, did that answer your question?
Yes. How long does it take the upgrade process? How long does it take?
So as long as they have connectivity.
What?
So as long as they have internet connectivity, then it's a very quick download, whereby they don't need to uninstall, it just downloads and updates to the new version.
No, okay, thank you.
Great question. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for the question, Johnny. Another question's come through from Jefferson. Do we have any security issue if we didn't process TaroWorks upgrade? Jefferson, do you mind if I unmute you and you can give some more color to this question?
Hello, my name is Jefferson. I'm working in Haiti. I would like to know if I didn't process the upgrade for TaroWorks, and been a long time that we are using it without upgrading the system. I would like to know if I will have any security issues like security vulnerabilities for TaroWorks.
Okay, great question. So Tabs, I can take this one. So Jefferson, basically the only issue that you would have is that, as Tabitha mentioned at the beginning, we only support our previous last two versions that have come out. So if you're on a version older than that, we may not be able to support you in whatever issue you are experiencing. So there's not necessarily a security issue in terms of data security or in terms of your setting security, but it's more about which of the versions we support. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Great questions, everyone. Thank you so much. It seems like those are all the questions that we have. And we are also a couple of minutes over, so I'm going to round it up here. I want to thank everyone for joining and for asking all your questions, and I'd like to thank Tabitha for taking us through this deep dive. I think it's a really important deep dive for us to, be able to upgrade our TaroWorks version successfully. And if anyone else has any questions, you can submit a support ticket and we will get to them. So thank you everyone for joining. And yeah, as I mentioned at the beginning, this recording will be available on our YouTube page in the next couple of days. So thank you everyone and have a great day.